Hello, this is Clint Corbett here. I'm trying something different rather than going with my usual status updates on Facebook. I figure I'm going to share my wrestling opinions right here on video. So here goes. I think currently in wrestling, I find not enough respect is given to the Intercontinental and United States Championships. With Santino Marella wearing the United States Championship, I'm a Santino fan. He's my favorite. Uh, it's good to see him wearing the United States Championship. I was really hoping for him to do maybe a parody off of his honkometer back from 2008 when he, put up the honkometer. The honky tonky man was intercontinental. I'm not very good at Santino impressions, even though he's my favorite. But I was hoping he'd do, the Luger meter or something along those lines, kind of mocking himself. But he didn't anyway. He's United States champion, long time. He held the belt for quite a while now, and it's good to see him as United States champion. It's good to see fans gaining respect for him once again because for the longest time, he went into every match looking like the underdog. Santino Marella is not. I don't pick my favorites based on win-loss record, and I hate it when fans do. If your kid's a fan of professional wrestling, like, first thing you gotta tell them is, okay, don't try this. It's like it shows it on the commercials. Don't try this, and really, do not try to become a professional wrestler. Well, if you're, 18 or 19 and you're thinking about it, then that's reasonable. But 5, 6, 7 years old, don't be. I saw somebody get pile drived, pile driven onto hard grass, and it was probably, I don't know what time of year it was, but regardless, he jigged out and we were freaked, and it was not a fun experience for us. So professional wrestling, leave it to the professionals, okay? Don't try it at home. Second thing, if your kid watches pro wrestling, make sure they know, like, I don't know, at a certain point they need to know that it's choreographed, because you don't want to be the last kid that finds out that, yeah, pro wrestling isn't real. I believe it's, to say it's not real is, I don't like that term, because what's real? Like, the way I see professional wrestling, I view it on the same level as cheerleading. Okay, you want to say cheerleading is a sport. Well, you tell me what the professional wrestlers do that, um, pro wrestlers are on the exact same level as cheerleading. It's entertaining. It's high paced. It's high tempo. It takes, it's teamwork. You know, that has to be taken into account. If you're going to say cheerleading is a sport, well, professional wrestling is a sport, even if they're not trying to be a sport. Vince McMahon has referred to pro wrestling as show business, which it is. But, there's long-term fans like myself that are sick of, you know, people that don't know stuff to say, well, it's phony, it's fake, whatever. You know, wow, that looks weird. Anyway, um, where can I go? I want to talk a little bit with you about Ryback. Ryback's awesome. Like, fans are chanting Goldberg. That's a compliment. You're comparing him to Goldberg. Goldberg's like, when you think of WCW, the things that worked in WCW prior, like after Hogan came on board, the later, the more successful in the ratings WCW, number one has to be NWO. Number two is Goldberg. So Ryback's Goldberg, is that what you're saying? No. If they were chanting Gilberg, then you'd have an issue. But they're saying Goldberg, Goldberg, Goldberg. That's awesome. Like, you're comparing him to Bill Goldberg. Uh, I don't find, when the fans are riding people like, uh, Ryback like that, uh, it's funny. It gets annoying because he's a good guy, he's a baby face, and not supposed to do that to the baby faces, but if it's a heel, fair game as far as I'm concerned. All these Albert chants directed at Tenzai, Lord Tenzai, I think that's funny. He's a bad guy. He's making fun of the fans. He's insulting everybody. He's attacking the hero. Albert, Albert, Albert. That's awesome. Like that gets under his skin. That's exactly what the fans should be doing. I remember a few years ago when the wrestlers came to Halifax Metro Center prior to Jack Swagger, you know, clearing up his speech impediment. I made a sign that said "Swagger sucks," and when Jack Swagger came down to the ring, I was, "You suck, Swagger! You suck, Swagger sucks! Swagger sucks! Swagger sucks! Swagger sucks!" And I think that's fair game. The guy's a heel. He's making fun of the fans. Well, he wasn't making fun of the fans much, but he should have been because he's a heel. Uh, anyway, yeah, make fun of the bad guys. It's fair game. Call him Albert. Swagger sucks. Stuff like that's funny. That's it. Yeah, that's all.